like to call this meeting of the Holly Township Parks Board to order at 6 p.m. on March 23rd. Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And can I have a roll call, please? Kathleen, do a roll call first.
Donna McBride.
Here.
Joe Hutchins.
Here.
Patrick Feeney.
Here.
Kathleen Martin. Here.
And we have a quorum. All right. Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda, or do we have any additions to the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
I have a motion and support. And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes. Wanted to do that. We have no consent agenda, so we can pass on that. The next item would be public comment. Members of the public can address the board once recognized by the chairperson. Comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes. The board may extend this time by up to additional 4 minutes by a majority vote. Prior to addressing the board, members of the public are requested to clearly state their name, address for the board record. Any public comments? Ms. Brinker?
Tony Brinker, can you guys hear me? Whatever. I'm keen.
Could we have your address, please?
I'd rather not you have it, but 259 Hunters Court, Grand Blanc, Michigan. I came tonight because I understand that the Friends of Holly Township Parks group is on your agenda, and I just wanted to clarify some things. It is a Friends group. It is not a park funds. It is Friends funds that were raised by the Friends group. It has its own separate EIN number, and the money there belongs to the Friends. It does not belong to the parks. At your last meeting, I believe you had a very unethical person tell you otherwise. That person is wrong. I spoke with the bank at great length today, and it really saddens me that a park and a place that I have loved very much has come to become such a very negative place. You as a board have allowed one man who has given, in my opinion, very poor advice to members of this board. Sorry. To destroy what so many have built here. As far as the Friends group goes, the Friends group did meet today. And we agreed to allow Donna McBride to serve as the treasurer and liaison to the Parks Board. She will be placed on the bank account, and the money in that account will go to help finish the disc golf course and towards programming she and the rest of the Friends Board deem appropriate. As far as it being secret money, as it was implied, I am saddened that members of this board didn't stand up for my integrity. If I wanted to hide it, I could have just taken the money and all of the stuff and disappeared with it. That was never my intention. I care very much about Holly Township Parks, and that really saddens me. There seems to be a lot of things that have just been neglected or ignored since I left. Your accountant told your volunteer to combine the petty cash with the money that was money coming into the parks via either people paying for classes or things that we were selling there, to combine it all into one pot. Since that has happened, all of that money has gone out as petty cash. Your petty cash account amount is $300. What you're doing is unethical, and it's against all accounting rules. It's also, I don't know if it's against the law or not, but I just would like you guys to get back on running the parks the way the parks should be run. I would ask that you be careful in allowing people to slander your current and
Tony,
past employees.
could you time out for a second? Your time's up, so what I want to do is if someone wants to make a motion for additional time, do I have a motion for
I'll
that?
make a motion to add additional time to Ms. Sprinkle.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Thank you. I just would ask you to be careful in allowing people to slander your past employees or your current employees. I worked really hard for this park system for 32 years. I've moved on to what's a much better place for me. I'm much happier. I do miss this park. I took today off so I could spend time with the senior group that I helped start because they had been asking to see me and missing me. I hold no ill will towards any of you. I'm still willing to help get this park back on track. I've done it all along. What I'm not willing to do is be slandered. I'm not willing to, it saddens me that somehow, I don't even know how this happened, I got on Facebook accused of you guys not voting for someone to perhaps be your next park supervisor or whatever you're calling it. It's like really, I haven't even been here. I don't even know, I hardly even know that person. I didn't say anything to anyone about that person. I'm also really sad that I hear the egg hunting has been canceled and that the sled races didn't happen. Those were all really simple programs that could have been followed up. I know that Mary had told me that her and Tom were willing to fill the eggs and had offered, and we're told no. So I just wanted to kind of clear my name up, clarify the Friends issue for you guys, and to let you know that if you want help, Donna and Joe have my phone number. I am more than willing to help you guys get back on track. But please stop the people from slamming me and stuff. I did nothing, and my integrity means something to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tony.
Anybody else for public comment? Mr. Collis?
So when that account was brought to my attention,
I'm sorry, sir, you're
Oh.
formal.
George Cullis, 601 East Maple Street. When that account was brought to my attention, I was never told that the name on the account was Friends of Holly Township Parks. I was only told it said Holly Township Parks, and I was told it came from the auditor. So all I did was check with the bank on how names get changed. If it's a separate account belonging to somebody else, then by all means that makes sense and it shouldn't be changed. However, I was not told that it said Friends of Holly Township Parks. That'll be for you guys to research. At the last meeting, at the end of that meeting, you talked about the truck that was in there. And Joe talked about how the board had passed a motion to scrap the truck. And then, to paraphrase Joe, he said, then all of a sudden the truck started showing up around town. And I sat there and I listened, and there was some information that I hadn't heard before. I want to shed light on that now. Kurt Miskovich came into the office, would talk to Karen, would talk to myself, making sure that he was following the law and doing things as they were supposed to do. He came in and he said that Joe had told him to scrap the truck. And he wanted to know, is that okay for him to do? Can he go through that? And we said, no, the truck belongs to the taxpayers. It's titled. There's a process. I was never told that the truck had been voted by the board to be scrapped. Now the problem is at that meeting you said it was done in October. I have the October minutes. It doesn't say anything about scrapping the truck. The board passed a motion that Joe would buy a new battery for the truck. It's in the October minutes. It's right here. So I don't know where the story went awry. When Kurt came in with it, I
George?
said, what's wrong with it? I'm sorry.
Time.
How long do you allow?
4 minutes.
That was 4 minutes.
Yeah, that was 4 minutes. Do I have a motion for?
I'll go ahead and make a motion for Mr. Cullis to go ahead and continue.
Support.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So when he came in the office, I said, what's wrong with it? He didn't know other than it didn't ran. So we drove down, we put cables on it, and we started the truck. It was then decided to take it down to Coleman's and find out what was wrong with the truck, what needed to happen for the truck to be back on the road. Ed put in a new battery. I don't have the bill, so I don't remember. There was a gasket or a filter or something. I think he did an oil change. And he then said that the truck needed brakes to the tune of about $1,000 to $1,200. At that time, I told Kurt that he'd have to go back to the board and get that authorized. In the meantime, I made a couple of phone calls. It ended up down at Logan's, and the $1,000 to $1,200 ended up the $250. The brakes were redone. I had made a deal with somebody else. We got some parts. We got it all covered at a much reduced price. So I don't understand when that comment was made about the fact that the board had passed a motion to scrap the truck, because your minutes clearly state the board passed a motion for Joe to get a new battery. So I just wanted to share that light on the rest of the story and why the truck ended up around town, because it's very different than the story that was told that night.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Coase. We're just going to move on with businesses. We have the interviews, so
Okay,
we can,
yeah.
you can make that in public or your comments at the end, please.
Yeah,
Okay, moving on to, well, sorry, any other people for public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, old business, approval of financial statement for January and February. There were some questions about the understanding of the financial statements. That hasn't been clarified, so I would entertain a motion to table this until we get clarification on it. If that's,
I'll second.
well, no, I'll let someone else,
I'll make the motion.
okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, and being a financial, I think, I know it's not spending anything, but let's take a roll call vote.
Hold on. Donna
Yes.
McBride, Patrick Feeney,
Yes.
Joe Hutch,
Yes.
Okay,
Kathleen Martin, yes.
it passes. I get to do that again. All right, now we're new business. Under new business number 1, approval to accept the resignation of Sean Grugel from the Holly Township Parks Board.
This is so sad.
I would agree. Do we have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to,
Does the actual resignation have to be read in?
oh,
I don't know if we technically have to read it in. If you have it, if you like to read it in, or read it, I think that's fair to Sean if you have it to read
I
in.
think, yeah, that's what we did.
Okay, we have done that in the past, so. I think I might be able to apologize.
It was attached to another one that I'm looking for.
yeah.
Does anybody else have it?
It was attached to,
That's, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not finding it.
to the same one as,
Yeah,
Kurt's.
that's what I thought.
Let's see, let me see if I can, I apologize to the public on this one. That was, let's see.
Well, if it doesn't, if it's not required, I think we should just move on. We've got a lot more to do.
I mean, a copy is available, so anybody would, I mean, we can make copies of it if anybody's available. So I have a second. You seconded for a motion on it? Did you?
Oh, I don't think there was a motion made.
Has there been a motion made?
I made a
Yeah.
motion, yeah.
And do
to
we have a second?
Approve his resignation.
Okay.
I'll be second.
All right. Discussion? I'd just like to take the opportunity to express my sadness in losing Sean. I think he's one of the great assets that are in our community, and it's a real loss for us not to have him on the board anymore. But knowing Sean, I know he's going to be involved in a lot of things, and we're going to be seeing a lot of him in the future. Good luck, Sean, and thank you for all your help and dedication to the board. And
So, can we pass it with an ayes?
I think we can pass it with that.
Voice vote? Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes. All right. Approval, number 2, the approval to investigate the cost of our landscaping and mowing. What I've been looking for, just to give a background on it, I've been out trying to find, get some bids and that on it. I did receive something literally in the last few hours, which I don't, didn't think it was appropriate to bring tonight and add to the agenda. But what I'd like to know if we want to go forward with accepting some bids for lawn mowing and maintenance work.
Sure.
Okay, do I have a motion to go ahead with that? I mean,
I will make a motion to investigate the cost of landscaping and maintenance through the park.
right,
Get some bids.
do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? I think we're not spending any money this time, so I think we could just do a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Good. That one I can hit a little louder, feel a little bit better about that. Okay, number 3. Motion to remove Tony Brinker's name for a Michigan Credit Union bank account and place it with 2 commissioners' name. What came up in public comment does give, a reason to pause on it, but here would be my suggestion on that. If we pass this motion and follow the procedures that we were told to on it, it would go to the credit union. And basically, the credit union is going to tell us one way or the other on that. And quite frankly, that's, up until now, I had not heard anything else about the Friends. Our bookkeeper did not tell me that was on there. That it was just Holly Township Parks on there.
Right.
Didn't have anything with the Friends.
Oh, no.
Excuse me,
okay.
excuse me, we're discussing it up here. So what I would just simply say is, for the public and as a whole, is not trying any controversy or anything here. We approved this, send it into the credit union, let the credit union just,
I think we should
with
just to check it out. I don't want to approve anything.
well, that's an
Here.
option too.
I think that.
But
needs
the
to be
fact of the matter
investigated.
is
Yeah.
that, the fact of the matter is, the issue could be resolved very quickly. Because all the credit unions say, you have no say on it.
I got this back, but I'm gonna show it to you. It says Friends of Holly Township Park. It has a separate EIN number from all of you. And I find it offensive that you.
Please, could you sit down, please? You're not part of the discussion, thank you.
Well,
I appreciate the information, but you're not part of the discussion.
I'm part of the Friends group.
And if you'd like to table it, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, I think in the end, that's the best way to resolve it. Because then it's just the credit union says, you're wrong, which, I have no problems with being pointed out wrong. All we're doing is trying to clarify it. Transparency with the public, and this is not to start an argument with anybody. But, you come up and you tell us this is, the facts. We have to, get a clarified answer. I mean, just to take it. And that,
I make a
that's
motion to table this until we find out facts.
Okay,
A second.
okay.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Carries. All right.
I got that back, please.
I think I'm just looking at it today. Okay. We will check into that. Thank you. All right. And we're a few minutes early here. We moved along a little bit more than I was expecting here. Well,
Are any of the,
nobody's here yet for the interviews on it.
Should we skip to other?
If you'd like, we could skip to others, yeah. That would be,
I would like to just say, in light of the fact that we do have 2 open seats now at this point on the commission.
oh, well, under other items, ladies and gentlemen, it's a formal invitation to the public to submit letters of interest to fill out for Howard Township Parks Commission seats. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's what I was saying.
No.
So thank you.
But anybody else have any, I just want to say to anybody out there is that, as you can see here, and there's nothing wrong with it, but all of us are from the village. It'd be nice to have someone from the outer, from the township, and I think I would encourage anybody from the outer, from the township to apply. And how this works is we'll give recommendations to the supervisor. The supervisor is the one who finally makes the final decision on it. But what I'm thinking is here, we probably should put a date to where a closing date on it. And,
You have
what would you?
45 days from today.
When we announce.
Yeah, but would you, I don't think there's anything saying that we have to go the whole length of the time. We could, if we wanted to do it a little bit more compact, I'm open for suggestions on that.
Well, also, Kurt resigned first, so,
Yeah, that one's already in motion, right,
Yeah.
right. But it's only about a week or two. It's not a great deal of difference.
also, Mary makes it available at the Nature Center. We have a citizen participation form to be filled out.
Right. Yeah, that would be, yes, that would
We have
probably be
that.
just as good, yes,
At there, and we can also put that online too.
online, right. Is that something, so, do we want to put a date on that or not? Or,
I will research it real quick, and I guess we should just go ahead and go from 45 days from the first resignation, and that'll take them.
but my question is, do we necessarily want to wait till the literally last minute to,
Right.
45, well, 45 to fill it. That doesn't mean that we necessarily have to carry on 45 days of
Right.
taking applications for it. That's, I
So-
guess my thought is on it, obviously I think we'd all like to see sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, maybe a month or half that time, I'm
The
thinking.
first resignation was received on March 9th, 2 p.m., so should we
Right.
say April 9th? 30 days, can we shorten that time frame, or we have to
Wow.
keep it at 45?
No,
that's just, what,
No, you
3
have
the
weeks?
45 days for it to be filled.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying is, we could, I want to, I don't want to cut people off short, but then again, I don't want to go right up to the 43rd day, still taking applications
Right.
and have somebody, come in,
Right.
So I'm thinking that'd
So
be,
30 days would be April 9th.
yeah, I think 30 days would be
But
good.
you know what today's date is?
That's a good point, so
Yeah,
why don't we make both of them,
That's only like 2 weeks away.
yeah, why don't we,
And
if
that's
if we made it the 19th, we're still within the 45 for the first resignation, are we
April
not?
19th.
If we make it, I think that would be the, pro. So, could I have someone put that in a motion?
Wouldn't that be up to you, George, to decide?
Kathleen, we're
I'd like
discussing
to
it
make
up
a
here.
motion
Thank
to
you.
invite the public to fill out citizen participation forms that can be found at the Nature Center and will be online on our page on Facebook. Until the date of April 19th, they can submit the citizen participation form to be considered by the commission and then approved by Mr. Cullis at a date within
Do
45
I-
days.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, now, George, you had something that since you're the one that, want to fill us in on what your time frame might be on this?
The position that was vacated by Kurt Miskovich will be filled by April 19th. That stays within the 45-day parameter. That is the next township board meeting.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have to schedule a special meeting because 45 days puts it before the main meeting.
Okay.
So just so you understand, Kurt's position will be filled at the April meeting. Sean's will be filled at
The
the May
May
meeting.
meeting, okay.
Because his 45 days won't start until the April meeting.
Okay.
Even though you've accepted.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Our board doesn't
It
accept
had-
it
okay.
Until, and that 45 days starts.
So, since we wouldn't want to be running up to the day of their meeting, would we want to maybe put it a couple days before? So the 19th of April obviously is a Wednesday, correct? So if we did it the 17th of April,
When is your next board meeting?
our next board meeting is April 8th.
To pass out to your board?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I've got to have it before that.
Right.
When is your next board meeting?
April 8th, is it? Yeah, that's true. That's, That does, yeah, now that you mention that, that does, because
Because our-
we would, yes, because I understand, because we would have to look at it ourselves to pass it along to you, and that would be,
Have time to put it in the-
right? Would it, so Kurt's would be, the 19th would be the date for his 45 days, is that?
It's not his 45 days, but if.
Does your-
45 days
That's just his
after the
meeting.
That's just you, me, right, okay.
April 12th is your.
So, let's see. Would we feel comfortable with doing it to just the April 11th?
Yeah. I
What's
think so.
what's the thought on that? Because that would put us, gives us time to review it and then to pass it along. What do you think, Donna?
I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So the motion would be amended then to invite the public to fill out citizen participation forms, which can be found at the Nature Center and online on the Facebook page for Holly Township Parks and Rec, until and submitted before April 11th,
okay, yeah, April 11th.
12 noon.
12, well, could make 5, but, make, I would say,
Okay, so April 11th, 12 noon, we'll be accepting citizen participation forms for anybody within or without of the village or the township to step up and help out on Holly Township Parks and Recs Commission.
do I have a support for that, for the amendment to that?
You made the motion, didn't you?
I did.
And I did
Yeah.
the second.
Yes.
Right.
So I'll back that with the
Second.
second.
Second, okay. All right. All those favor, say
Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes. All right, and I'm looking at our time. Do we have any? Nobody has shown yet.
Nope.
So, okay, 6:30. Well, I guess we'll give a few minutes here and see if anybody approaches here. One thing I was going to, and this is just in general discussion out there, and that is when we're looking at our budget, is I think we need to consider a structure to where we have certain things that are batteries we're finding on our fire thing that we need to take care of in that. I think we might need a category for some items on there, just a thought, give us some thought about, certain items that are going to need to be on a yearly basis. I was thinking when I was going through there and that's one of those things where those can catch you, and especially with the cost of things going up, that might be something, when we're thinking about it, just put it out there with, if you could think of things that are going to be reoccurring, that might be something, we want to consider on that. That is the next question I had. Due to the fact when we're obliged to have our budget into the township, I believe it would be appropriate for us to maybe have a meeting next week to start discussing our budget. So we can discuss the budget and when we come to our April meeting, possibly having be able to approve a budget. Because I'm afraid if we wait till the April meeting, we're just going to have to call a special meeting to have it in time to the
Right.
township. So, And I think if that would be acceptable to everybody. I talked to Rachel, she said she could participate in that. Only thing I'm gonna need is, I am lacking a laptop to be able to use to have her on. Does anybody have a laptop that we might be able to do? Because we'll have to do the Zoom with her on there.
I might be able to come.
Okay. Okay, Donna or George, okay, it would be greatly appreciated on that one.
It's the township laptop.
Okay,
It's not
all
my
right,
personal.
right, that, so, yeah, my thought, what I will do is Donna had contacted the, Rachel, and Rachel was going over some things, so I'm thinking Rachel might have some suggestions. Only thing is normally I know this is a touchy subject, but, we do it as a workshop. Well, there are a couple things that I think I might be adding, that we could take care of next week. So here was my thought was, we go in as a meeting to be able to vote, but not necessarily on the budget. That we just kind of agree, we're gonna work on the budget next week and, approve it at our meeting in April. Is that,
So you're asking to call a special meeting then next week instead of a workshop?
right,
Discuss
instead of
the
a
budget.
workshop? I just that, unfortunately, in our current situation, I just can't, let a few things go by without, having some resolution to it, so.
You can call a special meeting with a workshop in it.
Now,
So you need your-
in it, okay, we could, okay, I guess, well, we could do it that way then if you'd like, if that makes you feel, I just don't want to be in the position that we can't vote for something that we might need to vote on next week on that, so. And that is something, when I get you the copies of it, please come up, feel free to, come up with some ideas, nothing that should be, shied away from under the circumstances, I don't think, so. I think we might take a 10-minute recess here because we had it spaced apart, and obviously our
I
first.
was gonna go look, I wonder if your people might be at that other door.
That I would appreciate, George, didn't think of that, so we'll see if that's the case. I think
A 10-minute recess?
yeah, I think a 10-minute recess to wait and see, because and if it ends up being a little shorter, that our persons are at the wrong door there, that could be the case, so. All right, we're gonna take a 10-minute recess. We shall be back at 6:43.
Do we pause that?
Do you know where I'm working?
Okay, this-
Do you know where I'm working now?
No, well, not exactly.
So, workshop finish?
I'm gonna go take a look and see now. Hopefully that's my issue.
Okay, I have a 23,000 acre park that starts on the M52 and runs into Jackson County, quite a ways.
Hallelujah.
Just a little thing. It's gorgeous though. We might have to take a road trip. We might have to take a road trip. Come in the fall because the leaves there are unbelievable. I mean, it's pretty in the summer too, but in the fall, it is just out of this world. I'm hoping to move down there, but I haven't figured it out yet.
I think you can.
Figure it out?
Yeah.
Probably. All right, Mary, or Donna, can you meet me tomorrow at the bank? Oh darn. That would be terrible.
Any special time?
I'll have to call you when I get out of work. Okay?
Yeah.
I think I can do it tomorrow. I just have to make sure I have good time to get there. It'll be closer to 5. Oh, yeah, we could have. Well, yeah, we could do it Saturday, actually, they said.
Oh, no.
But it was real entertaining when I went around the corner. She was sitting at the other door, but when I went around the corner, I was face to face with a deer. And we did it.
Well,
Bob and
I'm
Weave.
gonna take off and,
Tony, it's good to see you.
you too.
Thank you so much for the information.
I miss your porch.
Still there.
Well, yeah, but you're never on it when I drive by. I don't come to town very often. Yeah,
Wow, it's
I don't come through Holly all that often, but I made a point of it today because,
old time's sake. You're here anyway.
well, yeah, I had the day off. So,
Well, thanks for that.
hang in there, okay, with all your stuff.
Yeah.
Keep getting hugs from that baby.
Yeah.
That helps.
That helps a lot.
Gave me one today.
I know.
And she gave me 5. I'm so excited.
She missed just met her uncle
Was that who that
today,
was?
yeah.
That's your brother?
My sister's
Okay,
husband
Cool. Okay.
thingy.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That was okay. I stopped by.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, you guys hang in there and. Come on in.
Did she record that?
I was here to realize it's.
Except for this morning, I got to sleep in, and of course I woke up at 5 and I'm like, no, that's fine. But it's hard to convince Moose to do the dogs because he's used to doing up at 5 in the morning.
We're about 5 more minutes, Josh.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that'll be you.
This is intense.
It's not that intense. Just, we're all family here.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because when I first applied for the position, you know, like, it was just something like, oh, like, you know, I've always wanted to do something with the community, make a difference. Thank you. And so originally I had applied and I didn't have some of the credentials though. But I was like, well, it doesn't hurt, you know, whatever. And then when I got the call, I was like really excited, but then I started realizing because they were saying like, oh, this is going to be recorded, and then I guess they said it doesn't have to be, or it is. Oh, so the whole thing gets recorded for everybody to see? So everybody's going to see hear my answers and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Oh, what do you have to do?
Oh, when I talked to Mary Ann, she said when I was being asked questions, like, I guess it was up, she said
She
that,
has-
like, the people, applicants got to choose if it was being,
I don't, I seen her working on them.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I have questions, but I will.
Pat, if this ever happens again, because I walked out and you had to break, hit this.